Hi everybody, I'm glad to be back. I was on vacation the last couple of weeks, so that's why I didn't post any new videos. I was actually traveling from a Monday night to a Monday night, so it just kind of made sense that I could have the whole week, those 2 weeks off, and enjoy my vacation with my family, which I did. But it's good to be back. However, if you're super excited to get back into a normal type poem, you might be a little bit disappointed because tonight's poem is a little bit out of the ordinary. It's not the type of thing that I normally would write. Maybe it's something I would share, of course, but the style of poem's a little bit funny. So if you walk away from this thinking, oh my gosh, I love this poem, it's like the best poem ever, well then I'm glad you liked it, but unfortunately you probably won't like a lot of the other stuff that I write, because this one's, to use my mother-in-law's word, it's a little dippy. But anyways, I guess I'll give you a little bit of the background behind why I wrote this poem. I think it initially stems from something that was planted in my heart back when I got married. We've been married for almost 18 years now, coming up in July. And at our wedding, my maid of honor and dear friend gave a toast. And during it, she said something along the lines of, on the days that are not as amazing as our wedding day, on the days that are a little bit more mundane and typical, her prayer is that we can find joy in that, in the everyday, more simple moments. And that's kind of stuck with me as life has changed and grown, and we've added more kids to our family. Hopefully now we're done at 4. That in the everyday tasks that aren't as glamorous or exciting, that I can find joy and contentment in that. And I think really too, if you want to go a little bit deeper, I think a lot of that stems from an identity issue. A lot of times we mistakenly get our identity from what we do. And so when there's times in our lives, especially if you're a stay-at-home mom like me, and I'm not assuming everybody who's watching this is, but or times where you might not have as glamorous of a job, it can really mess with your sense of self-worth a little bit and make you feel like what you're doing is not as important, or therefore you are not as important. So I think this poem that I'm about to share kind of came out of thinking those things. And so yeah, it's like my mother-in-law's word, it's dippy. It's kind of funny and joking and even a little bit rhymey at the end. And that's, I think, almost on purpose. It's kind of like I was kind of slap happy when I wrote it. You know, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm just stuck at home doing all these crazy jobs. And can they actually be, to use a churchy phrase, can they actually be a sacrifice of praise to you, God? Like, can what I'm doing, if I'm doing it with a good heart and trying to serve you in just these ordinary things, can that be enough? Can that be pleasing to you? And I think the Bible shows that the answer is yes, that when whatever we do, we can serve God and it can be pleasing to Him and make a difference in the world. So yeah, this poem is kind of just a funny list of things that normal people might do that aren't as exciting or glamorous, but they still can be either monuments or just gorgeous creations that would, I kind of said works of art that God can appreciate. So anyways, that being said, here is the poem. It's called Joy in the Mundane. Who knew that if it is for you, it is enough? The everyday stuff is not so great. Annoying chores that I hate, can they be important too if in my life I work for you? Monumental works of art birthed from within my heart. Presenting the Leaning Tower of Dishes, the Statue of Laundry, the awful toilet bowl, the Great Pyramids of Pizza, and other crumbs to sweep. And while we're on that topic, Mount St. Swiffer, the grand Can I Have a Riding Mower? The Great Wall of Winen,
The golden hate my dirty fridge. Fill a man's caro at the cheapest stations, of course. The forbidden kitty litter. Mount Rushmore to the store. So any little job I do can be a sacrifice of praise to you?